Kia ora, my name is Gayle Te Kani. I'm the head teacher of the secondary program, the graduate program at BTI. I have been a teacher for over 40 years in different capacities, primary, secondary. I've done LEOTC, working at a museum as an education officer. I've done tertiary teaching as well. And so I have the privilege of being able to teach at BTI. I've taught in Christian education and secular education, Māori education, and I've been, in the last 4 years, I've been at BTI. First 2 years in a part-time capacity, and then since 2018 I've been at BTI as full-time. It's a privilege to be able to work in this institution with wonderful staff, and also with the wonderful students that we have. I am married and have a blended family of 5 sons and 9 mokopuna, with another one on the way. So yeah, that's me. But I guess in watching this video, you're interested in perhaps joining our team in the secondary program, or interested in becoming a secondary teacher. So it's often really interesting when we're interviewing prospective students that the subjects that they've studied or what they've been passionate about, their skills, their talents, or their giftings and things all align, and they can all be used in teaching. We talk about a vocational sweet spot. That's when all of those things come together. Your passion, your calling, and your areas of talent and skills and giftings. So when that arises, it's a really awesome place to be. So if you're in that place and think, yeah, that's me, I want to be a teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher, or I've just decided that actually teaching is something that I think that I would really like to do with the skills that I have, that I would like to pass it on to the next generation. So if that's you, then you might be interested in finding out a little bit more about our program. So to apply to be a secondary teacher, you need to have done a degree in a particular subject. So if you've got a degree in science, say, and you have particularly studied chemistry and physics, then in all schools they teach science, so you'd be able to teach junior science, and you'd be able to teach physics and chemistry to a senior level. So if you're the subjects that you've done a degree in aligned to the New Zealand curriculum and are subjects that are taught in our secondary schools, then that's a great place to start. Often if there is one subject that you are able to teach in secondary school, we can take you into our program. It used to be 2, but it's 1 now. But often schools like it if you can teach in more than one subject, 1 or 2 subjects. And often people in their degree have papers that they have done that will allow them to do that. This is a 1-year graduate program, but we actually have a couple of different options. So you can do it over 1 year, and you can also do it over 2 years part-time, or you can do it in what we call a Head Start program, where you do it, you start in June, you do 2 half-semester papers, and then you do the rest of the course the following year. It's a distance program, so it means that you don't have to live in Tauranga to do it. You can live anywhere in the country. We've had students from the top of the North Island down to the bottom of the South Island, and across from the east to the west. So it doesn't matter where you are, it is a distance program. However, there are different components to the program. And one of the components is where you come on site. So that's for 5 weeks in blocks, 3 different blocks. So there's a 2-week block in February, there's a 1-week block in April, and there's a 2-week block in June. So that is compulsory, and you need to have full attendance for those intensives. they're called intensives because they're intense. There's a lot of things that happen in there. You have we have a team of 4, so you'll have 3 subject teachers who will be teaching different papers, who will run classes, and there will be subject tutoring, which are run by teachers out in schools now, and that will be around your subject area. And then there is also training around practicums and things like that. So we have a practicum coordinator who organises all your practicums for the year out in schools. In the program, we have 2 5-week blocks of practicum. So where you're out in a secondary school, one is a senior practicum, and that's in end of April, May. And then there's a junior practicum, which is in August, beginning of September. So 2 5-week blocks. And then we also have another practicum block. Well, it's not a block, it's a practicum that runs across the year. And you get to see the ebb and flow of the school life within a school. And you are able to get subject tutoring by your associate teacher. And you also get to observe, you get to see how lesson plans and unit plans and all of those things are done in a school. You learn about assessment, you learn about NCEA. All of those things can be done in the school itself, but you also will learn about those during your class times. The rest of the time is done self-directed. So you have self-directed study, which is online work like Moodle, and there's also online classes as well, like Zoom classes. So this, like I said, the rest of the year is self-directed. And sometimes we're asked by people, can you work full-time and do this course? And the short answer to that is no, not if you want to do it in 1 year. But we have had students who have worked full-time and done it over 2 years, and we've had people who have worked part-time and have done it in the 1 year. And that is manageable. But it is an intense program. It is a 1-year program. And so we need to be really realistic about what you can manage in your life. Who does this course attract? I think it attracts people who are working either part-time or full-time. It does attract those people who are live in different parts of the country and can do it by distance. It attracts people who are straight out of university and want to do their teaching degree. It attracts people who have decided to have a career change. It attracts people who have decided that, oh, I've done this, I've got all these skills, I'd like to share this information, I've had all this experience in life and in my work, and now I'd like to teach it. And so we have people at the other end of the teaching of their working life that want to come and study as well. So our students range from quite young to not so young. And that's great too, to have that kind of diversity. At BTI is a Christian institution, and we do teach from a Christian worldview. We're committed to that. However, we have students who do not have a Christian worldview disposition, and they are also more than welcome as well. So we welcome people of different worldview ideas and ethnicities, and we encourage and enjoy diversity. We say that we are committed to develop teachers who are wise and professional, who are characterised by gracious, secure and teachable dispositions, and whose teaching is relational, responsive and transformative. So those are words that you would hear quite a lot if you came to study here. People enjoy coming to study at BTI. It's in Tauranga. It's a beautiful place. And so that's an attraction as well. Again, the distance program is an attraction. The other thing that is really advantageous about BTI is that we're small. And in our secondary class, we have around about 30, which means we get to know you well. You're definitely not just a number. We are committed to building relationships with you with each other, and you with us, the tutors. And so we see ourselves as a whānau, as a family, and we're committed to being relational and building really strong relationships. And that's really helpful. We have an open door policy within reason, and so you can come in and ask questions either on site or by email or phone or by Zoom calls. And so, we want to know you, and we want to be able to help you and support you. We have a mentoring system where each of the tutors has a group of students that they look after for the time that you are here. So if you'd like to know anything more about this program, then come to the information evening where you have the opportunity to hear more about the program in more length and detail, and that you would also be able to ask some questions about the things that you want. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that we may get to see, if you're watching this, we hope that we would get to meet you and see you in some time in the future. Kia ora.